What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We've done it, you guys. We've broken through 62K. I was hoping that we would find support on that area. As I've been saying for the past few days now, as long as we hold 62K on a closing basis, I would not expect that we go lower. But as I've been addressing throughout this whole range, if that area is given up, we will immediately go down to 58K. And when I said immediately, when I say immediately, I didn't think it would be like today that we'd be down there. But here we are, and we've actually interacted with the 58K area perfectly, 57.875. When I'm talking about a $58,000 target, right? Like for anybody out there, it's like, we broke through 58K. We did not break through 58K. Absolutely not. You're telling me that on a $58,000 asset here, I'll even do it a little bit above to make the point better in your favor for anybody who's arguing this, right? 0.24% away from 58K. It's not, you did not break 58K, right? There was no, you spent a very little amount of time there. People were FOMOing. The 58K level has held as support, at least thus far. Not much, it is still very early to say. If we look at that 4-hour candle, that's a nice wick to the downside there. I mean, that candle is more wick than it is body. And we do have this double bottom look upon us, which is a good look. It definitely is a good look. As long as we're holding this area, I think Bitcoin's fine. It's when that area breaks, when it breaks, that's when we're in trouble. And a break, in my opinion, would be a candle body to close basically at that low or lower, probably. Right at 58K, less than $200 away from 58K. That might not scare me as much as like $500 or more would. If for whatever reason. That's just my personal opinion. But looking at this here, I want to take it back to something that I said last week, is that we've formed a double bottom on this 886, right? A little bit above it here, basically right at it there. Perfect area to hold. If we look at this relative high to relative low here, we did a double top on our 886. Could history be repeating itself? Could Bitcoin be having a kind of reaction with the 886 area just throughout this consolidation phase? Perhaps, maybe it is. I even wonder from this high to low. Look at that double top there on the 886 too. It's kind of funny, right? And people wonder, right? People ask me questions why the fibs work, or if they work, like is it just coincidence, whatever. Trading algorithms, bots, and just traders and investors, people like me who use them, pay attention to these or have these programmed into their algorithms. So the algos, as they say, at least whenever I started learning fibs, man, that's what everybody would say, is that the algos are the ones that pay attention to the fibs. And they certainly are right now, man. The algorithms are absolutely whatever. If there are trading algorithms basing their selling points at the 886s, they've been killing it throughout this whole range, because that's double top right there at the 886. Overall high to low here, double top of the 886 afterwards as well. And then obviously this one that we just had, right, from low to high, 886 double bottom. I'm wondering, just kind of funny, right? So it does give me hope that we could hold here. Although I do want to say that breaking through your 618 and maintaining readings below it is not a good look. Generally, I would expect that you'd see extensions, but there is hope. There is hope just based off of the relative interactions that we've had with this area. So I am hopeful that we hold this area. I might be. I don't know. I actually haven't watched any YouTube videos today. I wonder how many people are calling for this to be the low. I'm hoping I'm one of few people, or none at all, that are calling for the low. That would make it more probable, in my opinion. If I'm one of many people calling for this to be the low right now, that might make it less likely. We actually might, oftentimes the market does the opposite of what people are anticipating, right? So I am curious to see what the general sentiment is right now. If we move up like this and then people start saying, okay, that's the low, that's different than like right here, right now, you know what I mean? So hopefully I am one of few people, if not like less than that are calling for this area to be a low. I really do think we've found it. I think this is a perfect double bottom look. Everything about it's right. The only thing is it's too early to say. We need time to develop out of this. Perhaps we're in some kind of W, which would be also really nice. If we look at the daily RSI, we are set up right now in a very bullish kind of situation, right? We've got bullish divergence going on. It's not confirmed until we have a green day. We get some separation from this area, right? Lower lows, higher lows in the RSI, lower lows in the price. That's bullish divergence. And if we closed right here, specifically right here at about $58,700, if we close right here today, this would give us a setup to bounce right off our oversold zone, which is always a bullish setup, right? It's just like rejecting your overbought zone is a bearish setup. Bouncing off of it's a bullish setup. Bouncing off your oversold zone is a very bullish setup. This is what happened the last time we bounced right off our oversold zone, right? Just like this, right? That's what happened. That's the momentum that ensued afterwards. And you know, if you look at it, right, this was a little consolidation phase right here. This came at the very end of it. That's when we had that interaction. This is not the same look at all. The only comparison I'm making is if we bounce off the oversold zone, because here you just had one interaction. I hate these plus. Does anybody use these? Like these little things, right? I never use them, right? Like why not just, I can zoom it in myself, you know, like it's TradingView needs to get rid of these. I don't know, unless they're used. Maybe I'm just one of few people who doesn't use them, but I hate this stuff. It gets in the way all the time. But enough of that. This one only had one interaction with the oversold zone. Over here we have multiple interactions, right? This is our second interaction right now. I'm not necessarily calling for this exact move to happen. If it were to happen, let's just see, from this low to a high, I mean, that would potentially mean we could see prices above 100K here by the middle of August, which that actually makes sense with a lot of the analysis I've been giving over the past like month and a half now. So that, I mean, that lines up even before that, right? Since the halving, that really makes sense that we would see those targets in that time frame. But the real comparison I'm trying to make is just the interaction with the RSI. Let's see if we can go back and find another one, right? So right here, you got into your oversold zone. Then you found some, I wonder if it was bullish divergence. Yes, it was. And you bounced off your overbought or oversold zone there. You didn't move up immediately, but that was your low that sent you up, you know, inevitably. Again, just to kind of reference the idea that if we have found our low, and I think we have, I am calling for it right now, that doesn't mean that we're going to move up immediately, right? It really took us, I would say, 35 days to start moving up, right? So like a whole month and a week essentially to start moving on up. So it really could be by the end of this month, if not sometime in August, that we move up. However, to be completely fair, I think this phase of consolidation was a lot larger than this one was, right? I mean, you can just see it with your seeing eyeballs here. This phase was a lot longer. So perhaps this in-between phase before we really get things going is less than that was. I don't know. I'm just making assumptions here. It's just my best guess, I guess. $58,753 is where we're at now. Double bottom potential. Interacting twice with the 886 seems to be what this thing likes to do up in this area. Let's hope it does. Let's look at the 4-hour real quick. 4-hour also showing bullish divergence. We just don't have it confirmed yet, right? It looks like bullish divergence right now. You've got the higher low with the lower low, but if we continue to move down, well, then that negates that bullish divergence. A lot of people make the mistake of trying to anticipate divergences before they've actually been printed, and that's not what I'm doing here, right? I'm saying we have that look. It looks nice. It all looks nice, but again, emphasizing that it is still too early to say. Hopefully by the end of the day, we have a little bit more clarification, and then going into tomorrow and maybe even the end of this week, it'll look more and more like this is the low. Really what we need is today to close around here or higher, I would say. I mean, even if it closes a little bit lower, it's okay, but we need to hold 58K. And then we need to start moving up basically right after that, right? And we don't. When I say we have to start moving up, that doesn't mean we have to do this, right? But just a little something, you know. It doesn't have to be dramatic in a very short amount of time. I mean, if it is, hey, the more we move up in a shorter amount of time, the better for everybody, I guess. But that's what we're looking for. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm hoping for. Let's see here. MA exponential ribbon. Crossing to the downside. This thing is not going to be reliable right now because we're just moving sideways, so it's a lot less reliable, as are many indicators whenever you have sideways movements going on. Let's look at the weekly. We're in it. You know, this is an area that you would expect to hold as support. Yes, we had the cross back here, but this was our bull market, the end of our bull market here, right? Bear market scenario. So we're not in the bear market right now. At least I really don't think we are. What about the monthly? Pretty far away from it. Whatever. Nothing really to go off of there. Maybe the 4-hour. The 4-hour looks sad, but to be fair, we're pretty far away from it. We might come back and interact with that area you know, there's like a magnet at that 61 to 62K area there, so hopefully we can do that. But again, we've been moving sideways for a little bit, so it might not be as reliable, this ribbon, on the 4-hour or the daily, or the weekly would be more reliable. Anyways, getting off track there. Let's see. No, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. I don't know if I have anything else I want to say, guys. That might just be the end of the video. Okay, the 1 hour kind of looks a little bit promising, actually. I was looking at the 4 hour. I didn't measure it down to the shorter time frames, but this does look like a rather productive bottoming area on the 1 hour. You got this little double bottom here, a little bit of bullish divergence going on. You've got more volume on this bottoming candle, right? That's a lot of volume there. It's the same thing as like up here, right? Right, look at this. You're getting more volume, right? You're not going anywhere. You're in your upward move, but you're not going anywhere. Well, you're in your downward move now. You're getting more volume on this 1 hour candle, but you didn't persist down. You actually held the line. So I'm really curious if this holds. I'm calling for that now. That's the main point of this video, man. I think we've hit our low for all cryptos right now, relatively speaking, you guys, for the month of July, maybe even for the rest of this year. This might be the lowest point from here on out to buy. So I know I've been saying that really since we've just been down in this area, but it reigns the most true today specifically. But throughout this whole area, it's been true. Not all cryptos, I'm sure, have gone down, but most of them definitely have. I'm wondering, you know, Bitcoin's down 2.37%. What's others looking like? This is the total crypto market cap excluding the top 10. So no Bitcoin, no Ethereum, no XRP, no stable coins, you know, no USD, USDT or USDC. 2.35% on others, down. Bitcoin's down 2.35% too. So altcoins really aren't getting hit as bad today. Some of them are, I'm sure, but most, I mean, the market seems to be neck and neck with what Bitcoin's doing, and this does look somewhat like a triple bottom. It's less common to experience triple bottoms, but they do happen. Just to be fair, I mean, it kind of is the right setup for that right now. We'll see if it comes to fruition, but you know, the daily RSI doesn't look the best, if I'm going to be honest. The 4 hour is in an area where you could expect to find support, and the weekly also does not look good. It could imply further downside. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what alts do. Will they hold the line here themselves just because Bitcoin holds the line, or will they will we see a little bit more of a flush out to the downside? It wouldn't be crazy at all if we did. Wouldn't be crazy at all. I want to see real quick, actually. I know this is a Bitcoin video, but while we're here, I mean, we could go lower, man. We absolutely could. 190 billion, 200 billion. It'd be roughly like a 8% to what, like a 20% drop, something like that. Or am I doing my math? I'm probably doing my math wrong. 8% to, what would it be? 12%, 8 to 12%. So across the board, some coins, that's the average. So some altcoins would drop like twice as much, some half as much. You know, it's not for everything, but this is like on average. So nonetheless, the main point of bringing up this part of the video, this chart in the video, is that we're down 2.37% on the other chart. Essentially, the altcoin market cap is down just as much, 2.37. Right, that's what we just saw. It's changing, so it could, you know, but this one's at 2.19, so it's really not that big of a difference at all. And a second ago they were matching. So Bitcoin, hold the line, hold 58K. If you close right here, specifically like right in this area, you don't move up too much by the end of the day. If we just chill and close right here, even if we move down and pull back up, whatever, if we close right here, that'd be a really prime setup. But we don't need it, right? We've had positive reactions, even closing just above it, just below it. Like, we don't need to close right at the line. But I do think that closing right at the oversold zone like this and having a bounce, it looks so clean. It's really good. Just like that was not a good look, right? This is a good look. Sends us up higher. That's a pretty damn good look too, you know, but I don't know. Better looks are better. So that's what I'm going to end the video on, I guess. That's all I got to say. So if you guys like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. This is the low. Absolutely. I'm confident it is. Double bottom. Here we go. Back up to the top. The area that I would actually expect us to move up to would be past this little peak here, from this high to a low point. I'm not going to count that low because that's going to be like your fake out low, right? So I think the the targets would be based off of this actually. The next target, we've already interacted with our 382. I would expect would be anywhere between 65,000 and 67,500. That's our next target area. And beyond, absolutely and beyond. But I do think that this next attempt up, we're not going to be held down by our 886. Perhaps we find resistance for a time, whatever, but I do think this next move up will provide higher prices, 76K, 81K, 100K, and onwards. You know, the next phase of the bull cycle is soon to start, you guys. I say soon. It could be a month, but that's pretty damn soon. And this is the low point that we have, at least until I would say for the rest of the year, man. That's my genuine prediction. If I'm wrong, if we close below 58K, like if we actually break 58K, then the expectation, the price that we would achieve at a minimum, in my opinion, would be $53,000. But more likely than not, we'd probably see 49K or lower. That's genuinely my opinion. So 58K, very important level to hold. That's kind of been the motto of this whole range here. We need to hold it, and we're testing it now. Hopefully we get some good results and some follow through afterwards. So take care, hit that like button one last time. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.